No, no, you're fine. Just remind me to switch back there and then that mic right now. Remind me to switch back to that. We need to switch back to there. Right after this? Yeah. Okay. And then taking out something in there.
Number 7, Draco Stayna. Number 6, Lamera Mallory. Number 3, Ben Smiley. Receiver number 1, John Forson. And number 0, Marte Sears. The Lions are led by assistant coaches Juan Young, James Rowland, Brandon Thomas, and Noah McCart. The head coach for your Lions is Stadium Daniels. Fans, one time for your Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please turn your attention to the field and join us for tonight's ceremonial invocation. Performing the invocation, please welcome Kurt Montgomery.
Let us pray. Father in heaven, we ask your blessing on this game as we are about to play. Give each one of us the courage to play in the manner in which our words and our actions are pleasing to you. Let us enter this competition in the spirit of sportsmanship. Father, please bless each one of us, especially the coaches, officials, and players. Keep us under the protection of your Son. In your name we pray. Amen.
At this time, please rise and face the flag with hands over hearts as veterans rendering a head salute as we honor America and all brave men and women with the performance of the national anthem. Performing tonight's anthem, please welcome Columbus State University Trombone Ensemble.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome into the Columbus Civic Center. And it's time for some Columbus Lions indoor football here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, the NAL YouTube channel and Columbus Lions YouTube channel. It's your voices for the Columbus Lions, Trip Behringer, and I got my partner in crime, the man, the myth, the legend, the best color commentator in the business. We call him Rick Beach. What's going on, man?
Hey, Thrift, good to be with you this little Saturday night football time.
Love it, man. They're never going to turn me away from some good football. We got two teams playing for second place. Now, in the NAL, top two teams from each division play in the playoffs. This is going to go a long way. Both teams are 2-3. Winner of this has a leg up. What are you expecting in this matchup?
Hard-fought battle. We've seen this league, new to Columbus, is just how physical this league is and how much more running is going into it. So for Columbus, used to be in the bully. Now they got to, been a little more leveled out. Now they got to have that bully mentality back here in the Civic Center.
Both teams have new quarterbacks from when they started the season. Now for Columbus Lions, they have Vincent Espinoza, who took over for Marcus Brooks. The Rouxgaroux are coming in with a new quarterback because their quarterback last week got hurt, and it's Joshua Hollins who comes in and will be starting for the Rouxgaroux. Huge matchup and a busy night tonight on the NAL. So be going back and forth between all the games and seeing what's happening within the league. We got Omaha Sioux City, Beaumont Wheeling, and of course this one, Shreveport and Columbus. Now, let's look at those standings as we come in now, week 7 or 8. Beaumont, the only undefeated team. Week 10, Beaumont, the only undefeated team, 5-0. In the American Division, Lions and Shreveport tied for second. In the National Division, Omaha Beef, whose only loss is to Beaumont, is 5-1. And the Colorado Spartans, you talking about coming on strong, have won winners of their last 4 and are 5-2. 3-3 Sioux City. And then, of course, the Idaho Horsemen, number 4. All right, enough of the talk. Coach Damian Daniels made some roster moves for the Lions this week, including bringing in former star Georgia defensive tackle Tyler Clark.
Yeah, big move right here, getting some big body up the middle that's played big-time football, played in the NFL too. So it's going to be fun to see how Tyler Clark helps his defense out. That we've known Coach Daniels always had a high-flying defense, but he loves the monsters in the middle. See how Tyler Clark adapts to that.
Lions will get the football. It's the Rouxgaroux and the Lions. Kickoff coming up next. Set to return, and thankfully this week, Lions are not wearing their fatigue, and we can see the numbers.
And not hard to spot Ben Smiley with the green shoes and green gloves.
Smiley's been great. And also, don't forget about Trevion Samuel. Played at Central, local product. Also played at Louisville with Lamar Jackson, one of the most electric players in college football. He is now on the Lions, and expect big things out of him.
Yeah, can't wait to see it. Excited about this offense and how they've responded to this little bit of a losing streak they're on, and knowing that this game could really catapult that road to the playoffs.
And Zach Hannibal will kick it off for Shreveport. Massive game on Teacher Appreciation Night. All teachers, if you're out there watching, you still want to come to the game,
come on.
You get in for free. You just got to have your teacher's ID or something showing that you are at a local school, no matter if it's private or public. Let's play football. Hannibal. Kind of a squib kick, and there's Trevion Samuel that I made mention at the 25, spins, and finally thrown down there by Devontae Brown. And we're going to see Espinoza. We talked about this, having a guy that can use his legs. How important is that in this league, Rick?
Super important. The rule packages is so different than where the Lions came from. They've had to adapt as a team, and this is part of that adaptation. And it's exciting to see Espinoza play quarterback without having to look over his shoulder and being able to focus on the job at hand.
Lions. Yeah. The lights are
Seems dimmer.
not on full power. Lions are wearing the gray trousers, blue trim, blue jerseys with gray trim, blue helmets. And Espinoza. Men in motion, Brian Robinson. And he's actually going to hand it off to Marco Lee that you said in the pregame you want to see a lot of here tonight, Rick.
Yeah, if Columbus is going to be successful, that's the horse they got to ride, and it's going to be exciting to see him. Nothing there, but just the running game, you just got to be patient with it, keep hitting, and let it finally break through.
No gain on first down. Here we go, 2nd down and 10 at midfield. Marco Lee and Robinson in the backfield. Jermon Fortson, the longtime Lions, on the near side. Tremel Gooden on the outside. Espinoza, and this is what he can do. Use his legs. Nice pass to Gooden. Gooden breaks a tackle. Gooden all the way. Did he get in? Touchdown, Lions. 2 plays, and they're in for 6, and that's what you want to see if you're Coach Damian Daniels.
Yeah, you can see the legs. He might not have got the yardage with his legs, but the running threat pulled the defense up, created the hole with the crossing pattern. Touchdown, Lions.
What a drive. 2 plays, 25 yards. Espinoza, as Rick said, utilizing the legs, and then it was all good. And after that, breaking tackles, and he gets in for 6. Lions have been off for 2 weeks since that heartbreaking loss against the Colorado Spartans back 2 weeks ago. So to come out on fire like that, especially in previous weeks, it took them some time to score a touchdown. And this is that drop kick that will be for 2 points, and it's good for Ja Foa.
Fired up.
One of my favorite names to say is Ja Foa. No time in that drive, Rick, and you got to like what you see early on from this Lions team that's trying to bounce back from 3 straight losses.
Yeah, you see they come out aggressive. They ran the ball, a little play action pass. They tried to hold the linebacker. Then with the look like Espinoza's going to run for it, stop, hit the guy in stride, running right down the sideline, touchdown.
Ofoa will kick it off. The band in full effect, as you can hear on the broadcast. And that one is a booming kick that'll hit one of the lower bleachers. And now we're going to see the new quarterback for the Shreveport Rouxgaroux. And, excuse me, trying to make out that number. I thought it was Joshua Hollins, but that is not the case. It is Joshua Hollins. I am correct. It looked like an 8 because the jersey's being bunched up on him. That is Joshua Hollins, who is filling in for the quarterback that was hurt last week. Hollins is going to fake 2 hands-offs and keep it. The jet sweep and then the counter, and he decided to go quarterback power and got nothing.
Yeah, that's what made Columbus so dominant the last few years on this defensive front. It's up the middle. We mentioned all the changes in the roster, mix up of the names and numbers, but one consistent name we've seen over the years, see Desmond Scott right there, the anchor of that defensive line, and he's doing that again tonight, 1 play in.
Tevin Bush Joe Powell on the outside. Hollins steps up, got room, and he's going to take off and run. Hollins breaks a tackle. Hollins finally gets tackled down inside the 10. And first and goal, and you're seeing Hollins utilize his speed.
You were telling this league a running quarterback is a must, and you're seeing the importance of that right here. He could just take off running, see him right down the sideline, breaking tackles, getting inside the 10. And this defense got to come up in this goal line stand.
Toss sweep, and finally getting tackled down is Kavon Samuels. Ronald Marlboro made the tackle.
See a good piece of running, a good cutback, get inside the 5 right there for the runner.
Hollins, and we're going to get a timeout. Nope, a flag.
I didn't see a. No.
It's second down, and it is a timeout. We'll take 1-2. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everyone. Thrift Behringer here. Rick Beats. We had an extended break there as we saw some youngins try to put on the pads and the uniforms. And it's second down and goal. Hollins hands it off again and getting in fairly easy and responding quickly. Kevon Samuels makes it 8-6, and that was easy picking for Shreveport. I know that's got to fire up Coach Daniels.
Yeah, saw that running game. Just cutbacks and looked like some poor angles by the Lions to try to cut that running back, but he was a nice shifty back inside them two goal line runs. All set up by the long run by the quarterback. And now you're seeing the advantage of Columbus having a drop kicker with the 2 points. It puts the pressure on the other team to try to keep up and chase the points with them.
So they're going to go for 2.
With a fullback in the game.
Oh. That is Darius Metters. And Hollins is going to keep it instead and get stopped. So good defensive stand there by the Lions. Shreveport does score. It's 8-6 here. We'll be right back after this. And here comes the kickoff. Lions got to respond. Shreveport makes it 8-6. And on the return is Ben Smiley, still on his feet, making a couple people miss. And Smiley leveled. But does get past to the 15 or about the 17-yard line.
That's why they did that little squib kick to start the game off, kicking the Smiley. He can easily take him to the house, and it's never a straight run. You see him go side to side, reverse field, and all that good stuff. Super athletic.
So Vincent Espinoza, 2-play drive last. Time he had the football. Marco Lee in the backfield. Robinson and Gooden will be in motion. Fortson to the near side against the wall, and it's going to be a toss to Marco Lee. And Marco Lee's got a big hole. Marco Lee still on his feet, got blocking ahead, and a huge gain from the running back. No flags, which I enjoy seeing less of them, but we do have a guy that is down, Justin Umis. One of the big offensive linemen. That would be a huge loss. We don't want that if you're a Lions fan.
Yeah, big run right there, Marco, and you see Big Umis coming out to block on that outside over here by the wall. With a heck of a job right there. Marco Lee made a man miss with a good cutback, and then took it down. Columbus in business had the 14-yard line. I think we're going to see some scoring tonight, Thrift.
I think so too, as we've seen now 3 plays all positive for the Lions as Umis is down right now. I want to say thank you to everyone here at the Lions organization. Teacher Appreciation Night tonight. Next home game coming up May the 31st. We got the trainer attending. We'll take a break. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, on the mountain we've got a saying. Get off your... Touchdown.
Woo!
Mountain Dew.
Umis is able to get up and walk off on his own accord. We hope that he is okay. And it's first down in the red zone for the Lions.
You expect to see more Marco Lee right here, you have to expect. See Yancey coming into the game playing that offensive line position. Was out there playing defensive line.
Kel Yancey will now have to come in. Right now, Espinoza in this offense has Shreveport guessing. Espinoza fires, caught, good, and makes a man miss. That's 6. 2 for 2. Tramel Gooden had a way to start this game off with a bang and a little dance move while you're at it.
4 plays, 2 touchdowns.
And you see here on the replay, Rick.
Yeah, you see a fake to Marco Lee, which you got to respect, then a seed over here that hit good and just makes a man miss, jump into the end zone.
2 drives, 2 touchdowns. Lions go up by 8 now, and Ofoa will try the drop kick 2-point conversion.
I think if you're Columbus, you can already go ahead and get a 2-possession lead right here with this kick.
And Ofoa and the snapper miscommunicated there. And false start on the Lions. You're watching on the NAL Columbus Lions YouTube. All we ask is that you hit the subscribe button. Ofoa! And then he points to the sky. I like the energy I'm seeing from the Lions. They lead by 10, 16-6 here. We'll be right back after this. What a start to this one, Rick Beach, and you're already seeing that spark from Vincent Espinoza in the offense.
Yeah, absolutely, and it don't look like a team that's on a losing streak at all when you look at, like you said, the energy coming from that Lions sideline.
And they're going to start at the 20. Hollins in the offense didn't have any problem moving last drive.
Yeah, Columbus got to find a way to contain that running game.
And handoff and slam down. That Mikael Yancey just got on the offensive line and came with a slam down, WWE style on that one, Rick.
Hey, if you want to slow the running game down, put the other team behind the sticks. And that's what Columbus just did. And maybe try to take that running game out of the equation. They could try to get a turnover right here on the defensive back end.
Second down from the 16. Hollins. Bad snap, ball on the ground. He still ain't got it. Loose! And Yancey just completely shoved a offensive lineman out of the way. But Hollins gets back on it. Almost a disaster for Shreveport. Watch this hit, Rick. Boom!
Yeah, Yancey
But
wanted
he should
that
have
ball.
grabbed the ball first.
He tried to get the guy off of it and didn't recover it. But either way, look here in the third and super long for Shreveport. Columbus can really focus on the passing game right here.
Third and a mile for the Rouxgaroux. And we'll tell you what a Rouxgaroux is here in just a moment, because I know you asked just like we did before tonight's game, and that's going to be offensive false start, and it will be. So back them up even more. Tyler Clark, big number 57. He can be a game changer if they don't watch out.
With him and Yancey, we already talked about Scott coming up the middle.
I won't say a lot, but there are several new faces on this Lions roster.
And this is a chance. You want to get that pressure. You got a lot of yardage to get for Shreveport. Don't give the quarterback time to sit back there and look for a receiver downfield.
Third down at the 1. Another bad snap. And Hollins is taken down for safety. And that was who else? We just said his name, Rick Beach. Tyler Clark.
Tyler Clark coming in, making a difference right off the bat. Here in the first quarter, look at the bad snap. Again, back to back. You see, as soon as he picked up, Clark waiting on him, takes him down hard to the ground for that safety.
Now, he was close to the face mask, and I think that's what the coach is asking. They're challenging. Really couldn't hear what they're challenging because he was not even close to getting out of the end zone. And I didn't know if you could challenge a flag.
Yeah.
So I guess we're going to find out here as they're going to go to the replay booth. But if you look again on the replay, it was really close to hands to the face. And
I mean, you're already saying you don't know if you can review a penalty. And if you can review a penalty, then why have officials on the field
but
and
it also,
do everything digitally?
It looked like he may have got his shoulder there, Rick.
Yeah.
Could have been just high up in the shoulder and looked like he got his face mask. Right now it's a safety, and it's 18-6. And everybody's favorite time is the meeting of minds with the referees, as we are in under review right now.
I've always felt if it takes you more than 3 to 5 seconds to make the call, it's not clear and conclusive.
Yeah. No.
If it takes you that many times to watch it, then it's not a clear and conclusive. Either way, you just run what's on the call on the field. You have an update from the Clingstones rain delay?
From what I've seen, nothing. There was a packed house here for not only the Lions, but the Clingstones going on next door, and we love our working relationship with our local affiliate, AA affiliate.
Here we go. Looks like the White Hat's ready to talk.
We're going to get the official review now. No, so they were reviewing illegal defense. So Shreveport will be charged a timeout. There was no illegal defense, and the Lions now go up 18-6 and are getting the football back.
Yeah, they could really cause that separation right here, and that's just what they need is a real momentum going, gaining game, and starting off like this could be that game that would catapult them.
Head coach Jermaine Hampton. Some of the other guys, including special team coordinator Tony Thurston, Keith Rust, offensive coordinator Michael Blair, assistant coach, and Davion Holman, offensive line coach for the Rouxgaroux. So I said, what is a Rouxgaroux? Well, Rick Beach looked it up, and I'll let you do the explanation, man.
Yeah, mythical creature from folklore down in the Cajun country of Louisiana. So they got a...
They're trying to bring some voodoo here, and right now, the only voodoo I've seen is the Lions dominating 18-6 with 2:34 remaining here in the first quarter.
Let's see what they do on the kickoff here. We saw a squib to start, then they kicked it to Ben Smiley the last time. He kind of had a good return. Big hit at the end of it.
Yeah.
Let's see what they do.
And this one is going to be returned by Trevion Samuel. And Samuel still on his feet, 25-20. And finally thrown against the wall, but good field position inside the Rouxgaroux's 20-yard line. But there is a flag on the play. And a false start on the kicking team.
Add to the end of the run.
So they'll be even closer.
So 4 plays, 2 touchdowns for Columbus, and you're getting the ball inside the 15-yard line with a 12-point lead. You can't tell me Columbus wasn't fired up for this game.
And there's a big hole and a nice run on first down by Trevion Samuel, and that will get close to a first down.
Yeah, nice play right there. You saw him coming down like a receiver, going for a pass, made a cut, took the handoff. I like that play right there from the Columbus coaching staff. With no Marco Lee in the game.
And Samuel, no, it's Espinoza who throws a seed right through the hands of Tremel Gooden.
They tried to fake off that same play they ran the play before with Samuel. Now you see Marco Lee coming in. Let's see if they just want to run it north and south right here with Marco and get closer to this end zone. If not, can punch it in himself.
Third and short. Maybe a dose of Marco Lee here. And Espinoza is taken down.
guy caught the flag.
Third down and long because of the penalty. And
that's going to be an offside.
Had Bracken Smith, who got pushed over there, gets up and points in the direction of that's on Shreveport. So from 3rd and 11 to 3rd and 6 now.
Just one motion man.
Espinoza looking, firing, caught! That's a hat trick! That's 3 for Gooden, and the Lions are putting it on the Rouxgaroux. It's 24-6 as the clock expires in the first quarter. What an opening statement by the Columbus Lions to Shreveport.
Absolutely. You want to come out with a little bit of fire in you to bounce back from the losing streak. And here they go, coming in here, about to try to add 2 more with this 2-point kick.
Try to make it 26-6 with the drop kick 2-point conversion by Ja Ofoa. Coach Damian Daniels said he liked what he was seeing from his team the last couple of weeks from practice, and this does not look like the team that's on a 3-game losing streak. This looks like a whole new club that is ready to rock and roll the latter half of this NAL season, and Ofoa makes it a 20-point game. And that's the end of the first quarter. It went all Lions' way. We'll take a break. We'll be back after this.
Let's go! Woo! Woo! Yeah! Woo! Football time! Set the tone. Kyle, tie your shoes, tie your shoes. Yeah, good job. Woo! Yeah!
Grab a Pepsi Wild Cherry and get wild. At United Way, we're not just dreaming of ending poverty. We're taking action to make it a reality. So let's continue to write the story of our region, a story of hope and resilience, a place for fresh starts and new growth, a place for all to call home, a place united for hope.
Welcome back, everybody. I do want to make a correction. Keith Russ, who was the offensive coordinator, is now the head coach. If you looked at the Shreveport website, the NAL website, and you type in Google Shreveport Rouxgaroux head coach, and it still says Jermaine James Hampton, but it is actually Keith Russ. So I apologize on that. And Coach Russ has got his work cut out for him right now. It's 26-6.
Yeah, he's going to have to try to open the playbook a little here and get some scoring quick, and got to figure out something on defense to slow this Lions offense down. Which last drive we saw from Shreveport, really the snap is what caused the biggest issue, and you see that a lot against the Lions because big Desmond Scott right in the middle causes them centers that really lose focus of their number one job, which is snapping the ball to the quarterback.
And that will not be returned.
The fan had it and dropped it. You can keep it if you catch it.
Those that are watching right now online on the NAL YouTube channel, Columbus Lions YouTube channel, and Georgia Alabama Sports Live, the score is 26-6. Somehow the scoreboard is not working in the Civic Center, and it says 40-6. So the Lions just keep adding points out of nowhere. But the real score is 26-6, and now here comes Hollins. 2 bad snaps derailed the last drive, Rick.
Yeah, absolutely, and you got to think that's just the thought of big Desmond Scott coming right in the middle. We saw there's a running game from Shreveport, and I expect to see it right here. Just because you're down 20 don't mean you got to abandon the run if you're Shreveport.
Hollins, another low snap, gets it out, and it's intercepted. And that is big Ronald Malbrough. Another big-time defensive play by the Lions in consecutive drives, and he read that beautifully, Rick.
Yes, he did. I was just about to say, you don't want to abandon the running game because the interception can really turn this game and make a bad game worse, and that's what just happened right there for Shreveport. You saw a new addition for this Columbus Lions team, adding Ronald in here, and he reads the quarterback's eyes perfect, jumps the route, gets the interception, and Columbus has a chance here to really gain some separation.
Defense was dialed up perfectly, but also Hollins tried to force it in there in a very tight window, and Malbrough read his eyes the entire way. And here comes the Lions offense, and they're going to set up shop inside the 15 at the 13.
You see that too often, and you see it's just early in the second quarter. And you had a great drive, the first drive for Shreveport, running the ball. Why give up on that just because you have these bad snaps over here? And here's Columbus at the 13-yard line with a chance to really, really make a big dent in that scoreboard.
Espinoza, empty backfield. Robinson and Fortson to the near side. Gooden on the far side with Samuel. And Gooden and Samuel now will have 4 receivers. Nope, it's going to be a screen pass to Samuel. Samuel trying to get blocking, not able to. And good defense there by Shreveport. Number 47, Rashad Powell with the tackle.
Yeah, they read that play beautifully out of the backfield. He went to throw it. Blocking wasn't even set up yet. Shreveport jumped in front of him and got Columbus for the loss.
So second down and 12 now for the Lions. We've seen Espinoza on play action pass. We've seen him in that zone read option, that run pass option. Right now, the scoreboard's taking its time trying to reset. It's just not working, but we got it right here. It's 26-6. Gooden, Robinson, handoff, no to Lee, yes. Good handoff there from Espinoza because I definitely thought he kept it. And Lee gets back to the original line of scrimmage. They'll set up third down and 10.
Yeah, we saw a nice third down play last drive to score. Columbus going to try to recapture that magic right here on third down.
It's been Gooden here in the red zone. He's already got 3 touchdowns.
Down at the bottom.
Espinoza is instead going to throw it. Did he hold on to it? Robinson did, and it'll set up 4th down and short. And if I'm Damian Daniels, the way your defense is playing, I'm going for this.
Absolutely. Beautiful play call on 3rd down right there. Hey, you don't have to get the 1st down. Let's set ourselves up for a high success play call here on 4th down. That's what they did with this shorter yardage. No need to be super aggressive trying to throw it in the end zone or try to get the 1st down. Let's get half of it and then go for it right here on 4th down.
We're at the 11-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. 4th down for the Lions. Samuel and Robinson. He's going to try to get it to Robinson, but instead it was tipped at the line. And that was a good play there by number 2, Denarius Antoine. And that will be a turnover on downs. Big stop there for Shreveport.
Yeah, nice play right there because Columbus went for the quick pass, and they had it. But Big 2 put his hand up and got the deflection. Get the turnover on downs. Now, the interception didn't hurt Shreveport, but they need to take advantage of that 4th down stop and try to get some points and start clawing their way back in this game as the clock is going to get closer and closer to halftime.
So Hollins and company will set up inside the 10. He gets it out quickly and kind of a toe tap. Tyron and Laughinghouse picks up good yardage there on 1st down, set up 2nd and 5. And Hollins is going to take off and run, and Hollins got the 1st down. And Marte Sears brings them down. Several people from Shreveport was hollering face mask, including Keith Russ, but no call there.
This is the 2nd time his legs have hurt Columbus from that quarterback position.
And you're probably going to need to see a lot more of that for them to be successful against the Lions defense here today. Use the run, they open up the pass. First and 10 from the 21. Their own 21 are the Rouxgaroux. And that's going to be a handoff, and he slips a tackle, but not the second one. Draco Statham cleans up the tackle that was initially started by Mikel Yancey.
Yeah, if Draco didn't pull him to the ground there, it looked like he had a lot of green at the top of the field.
And Samuel's got speed there, Rick, too. Low snap, looking, firing, and that one is incomplete. Trying to find Samuels. There is a flag on the play. And we're thinking maybe could be roughing the passer.
No, they're going to talk the
Oh, nope, it's on Lions. It's a hold. And that one's going to be declined. It'll set up 3rd down and 20. They need to get to the Lions 19 to get a 1st down.
Again, you got to see this pass rush really crank up right here to get some pressure on him. Don't let him stand back there and let these receivers get to the 1st down marker. And then if you're Shreveport, you don't have to get all the way. We just talked about with Columbus. get in between the 20, 25-yard line right here and go for it on 4th down. That was a false start.
Yeah.
Didn't get called.
And he's going to go deep, and it was intended and hit the hands of Laughinghouse. Draco Statham also had a hand on it as well. Maybe could have intercepted it. He's going to do some push-ups because he didn't intercept it.
Yeah.
Punish himself, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, it looked like Shreveport moved right there before the snap. Officials decided to let it go. And benefited by Columbus having the incomplete passes. Obviously, Shreveport was going for it all right there on 3rd down. Tevin Bush was the one that moved before the snap and got away with it.
Fourth down, and Shreveport's going to go for it. They feel like they need this down 20 here in the first half. Holland's trying to communicate with Samuels. Samuels got a good bit cushion between him and Statham, and he's going to go deep, wide open, and a miscommunication there by the secondary, and Coach Daniels has got his hands up like, what happened there? But Laughinghouse just going down the sideline and gets the first down.
And try to see if there was some kind of zone. Just no safety help at all.
So 4th and long turns to 1st and goal for Shreveport.
Yeah, Shreveport was holding on by just a thread. Now they got a big play, 1st down, and a little bit of momentum as they look to punch this in and get themselves right back in this ball game.
Samuels and Antoine in the backfield with Hollins. Tevin Bush and Rashad Ridley are on the outside. And handoff to Samuels. Samuels gets an absolutely nothing. And Marte Sears once again with a hard hit. 2nd down from the 4. Clock running under 6 minutes here in the first half.
Columbus trying to get this goal line stand. We've seen them a couple times this year come through with it. And Shreveport's got to have this here as they do get the ball after halftime. In over 5 minutes, you know, a lot can happen in 5 minutes in the National Arena League.
Second down. And Coach Russ needs a timeout. He didn't like what he saw. And we'll take 1-2. 5:05 here left in the first half. Lions 26, Rouxgaroux 6. We'll be right back after this. All right, welcome back, everyone. Second down. It's 26-6. After the timeout, let's see what Shreveport's got in store.
Delay a game.
And now
delay a game after a timeout has got to be the most frustrating thing. You get a timeout to talk about the play, then you're taking too long to talk about the play. I wonder if the coaches didn't see them set the play clock and just kept talking to them because they wasn't even close to snapping the ball when the flag came out. They reset it.
So now they're at the 9 instead of the 4. Hand off to Antoine, and he's going to be hit immediately. A gang of Lions, including Statham and Ronald Malbrough, a new addition that has come on the scene strong here in this first half, Rick.
Yeah, you've seen since that first drive, Columbus has really, hunkered down and went after that, stopping that running attack, and they've done a good job. And one of the things I like about this Columbus defense, these defensive backs help in run support, and that's a big thing to have. If your DBs aren't scared to stick their nose in there and stop the run, you could be in trouble.
A bad snap that is able to be picked up. Antoine busts off a tackler, still on his feet, but then is tackled just short. What an effort there by Antoine. Took a big lick, stayed on his feet, and kept going and driving, and now we got some extracurricular. Desmond Scott. There is a flag on the play.
Sometimes when they go in and come in for the hit instead of just wrapping up, that can be the result. And that's going to hurt Shreveport. They got to back it up after that big personal foul.
Yeah. They're going to get a personal foul there on number 56, offensive lineman Kyle Lester. Just negated everything Antoine just did. Denarius Antoine, what an effort to get it to the 1. Would have been 4th and short. Is now going to be 3rd down and long and goal from the 19. And taking off and running is Hollins, and he'll be stopped short at the 10, and decision time now for Shreveport. You would think they're going to go for a touchdown. Going to be 3 minutes when they take this snap.
Yeah, we see them get the 4th down conversion earlier in the drive, a long 3rd down conversion, or 4th down conversion rather. So now it's a 10-yard. For Columbus, you got to protect that goal line right here.
Fourth and goal at the 10. He's really like Samuel's in this position, but also Laughing House that got him down here. Can they pull some magic out again on 4th and long? They've done it twice now. And that one is low, caught by Laughing House, but he's going to be short of the goal line. Good idea, but you threw it about a foot short. If you'd have had a little bit more air under that. You think he could have gotten the end zone, and that's going to be a stop and a turnover on downs by the Lions.
Yeah, you think, why would you have anything going? But it looked like the play call and everything was perfect for the route, but the throw just didn't have enough juice on it and died out right there at the 1 yard line.
We'll stay right here with 2:27, 1 minute warning coming up here in just a little bit. Try to get you some information on what is going on around the rest of the NAL at halftime. Wheeling and Beaumont in a battle and a tussle right now, and Wheeling is beating Beaumont 20-14. Could Beaumont get their first loss of the season, as there are flags
everywhere?
We'll keep you up to date on that. And false start on Bracken Smith. It'll be half the distance to the goal. Coach Damian Daniels in year 2, year 1 champion, year 2. Started off 2-0, lost 3 in a row, made changes, and you're seeing the benefits of those changes here in this first half against Shreveport. Espinoza gets the call from offensive coordinator Antoine Young. Fortson's number has not been called. I would expect him to maybe get a touch here soon. The back judge needed to confirm something. He waves him in motion, does Espinoza, and hands it off to Marco Lee. Marco Lee, good tackle by Darius Metters, because if Lee had gotten away from him, he may have gotten a few more with his hard-nosed running.
Yeah, not a bad play call right there to call the draw. Let the defense kind of run down, hoping to get by. If he could have got by the one man, would have been a nice chunk. Nice tackle right there at defensive line by Shreveport.
And good pass, Espinoza,
Nice.
And there's Fortson. I just said it, and gets a first down. Needed a big play. You dial up the most reliable, what they say, Jermon Fortson.
Absolutely, you needed it. You said that and seen him much. And he comes up when you need him the most right here on third down. Keep it going. The 1 minute warning approaches.
And with that, we'll take a break. Lions trying to add more and extend this to 28. We'll see if they can do that right after this.
Hey, on the mountain we've got a saying. Get off your... Touchdown!
Woo!
Mountain Dew!
asking to reset the game clock. The Lions are at midfield. Hand off to Marco Lee, and Lee will be tackled immediately. Lions have all 3 of their timeouts, but it looks like they're just going to tell them, let's move, let's move, let's move.
Remember, Shreveport will get the ball after the break. Here comes Gooden into the game, switch with Lee.
Lions are actually taking some time off right here, Rick.
Yeah, you don't want to turn it over. Then you get Shreveport can double up on you, score, then get the ball after halftime and score again. I see no problem with this. You want to try to score, but let's cut this clock down some, then go for it.
Lions will take a timeout. We'll take a quick one, too. It's 26-6. Welcome back, everybody. 31 seconds left here until halftime. All Lions. Espinoza got plenty of green. He's going to take off and run and be pushed against the wall. And it'll be inside the 20. Third down. And about 24.7 seconds remaining. Espinoza runs, looking, firing, and throws an interception. Throws across his body, always a no-no for a quarterback. And that is a good defensive stop there by Shreveport.
But because of the clock, there's just 12 seconds on the clock that Shreveport's got to get it into the end zone. That's exactly what we were talking about when we said run that clock down, then go for take your shot. As Columbus takes a shot and turns it over, but only 12 seconds on the clock, so this defense got a hold here.
Maybe a teaching moment there for Antoine Young to his quarterback Espinoza. Maybe just take off and run there, because you only needed 4 yards to keep the drive alive instead of trying to make something out of nothing. And it calls a turnover. Hollins, Laughing House, and gets hit immediately. Stops the clock momentarily, 8.3 still in the half. Coach Russ going and trying to dial up a play to get some type of momentum here for the Lion.
Yeah, Shreveport's got to double up. They got to find a way to punch this in here, then get the ball for halftime and score after the break.
If you're just joining us, Lions got off to an incredible start. They scored a touchdown. Shreveport responded with one of their own, and then since then it's been all Lions. A safety, a pair of touchdowns has made it 26-6. Is Laughing Out tries to get closer. I'm wondering if they're trying to get a shot into the end zone or maybe a field goal attempt as Hollins is hurt, the quarterback. And now we got hands being thrown. Gibson Zia.
Still nobody checking on the quarterback.
And Hollins is in pain right now with his knee. And he's trying to walk it off. .9 remaining. We'll see what the penalty is going to be.
It'd be interesting to see as both sides really it's gonna be, yeah, it's on both teams.
Now offsetting. And now it will be under review. Hollins is still trying to walk it off. And it looks like he's going to stay out there. They're trying to see if any punches were thrown. Something may cause for an ejection.
Right. Quit.
So both get their first unsportsmanlike conduct. They will be able to return. Under 2 seconds remaining. They'll have time for one play. Hollins is not out there because of the injury. Antoine is the quarterback right now. Antoine pump fakes and is going to be taken down for a sack. They blow it dead, and that is how the first half's going to end. Lions with a defensive stand, and they lead 26-6. Feels good being back home if you're Damian Daniels and the Lions. We're going to go to halftime. It's Lions and Rouxgaroux on NAL, Columbus Lions YouTube channel, and Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Let's go! Woo! Woo! Yeah! Woo! Football Set the tone. Kyle, tie your shoes, tie your shoes. Yeah, good job. Woo! Yeah!
Grab a Pepsi Wild Cherry and get wild.
At United Way, we're not just dreaming of ending poverty. We're taking action to make it a reality. So let's continue to write the story of our region, a story of hope and resilience, a place for fresh starts and new growth, a place for all to call home, a place united for hope.
Welcome back, everyone. That's halftime, 26-6. First half thoughts there, Rick Beach.
Yeah, I like the explosiveness from Columbus coming out the gates on fire, quick scoring drives. Then that second quarter, everything slowed down as here we go.
And returning it to about the 20, and Shreveport will set up shop at their own 20, Tevin Bush. One that got hit.
See this Columbus defense keep playing with that same energy they had in that first half. Gave up a touchdown to open and drive, then nothing the rest of it.
Hollins and Rouxgaroux. And that should be a false start. First down and 5 after the penalty. Shreveport. And
Yancey.
That's going to be a sack by Yancey. He's been all over the place, Rick.
Yeah, he's really stepped up this game, becoming that force they've been wanting him to be. And this is the game where he's making that difference.
He's looking, got all day to throw, and high intercepted by Draco Statham, and he's on his feet because he wasn't touched. And another bad play there by Hollins, and Ben Smiley. And then there's going to be another unsportsmanlike, this time on Tevin Bush.
That was completely just out of the world insane right there by Bush to come out of the other end of the field. They seemed to have done broke up the scrimmage. The refs were going to let it go. Then he come in out of nowhere to give the little extra push.
That was almost a throw there by Hollins where he's just throwing up for grabs. Like I remember old Johnny Manziel from Texas A&M when he would just run around crazy and just heave it to hoping Mike Evans would save the day. This time he overshot Laughinghouse, who had made a big play before, and it was intercepted.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you miss high like that. You got the safeties roaming the middle of the field.
So a 15-yard penalty. And Tevin Bush has, I think, been ejected from the game. I'll confirm that here in a minute, but I do not see his number anywhere on that sideline. So I think he's already headed to the locker room and has been ejected from the game. First down and 5th at the 15th of Shreveport is the Lions, and you got to think now after a player getting ejected, another interception, you can really start putting your foot on their neck if you're the Lions trying to extend the lead.
100% right here, and that's exactly what I expect this Lions offense to do.
And Marco Lee, just such a powerful runner. Between seeing him and then having Travion Samuel with the speed, that dynamic duo has been a tough stop here today.
Yeah, you really like to see that. You could run up the tackles, then you got Samuel bounce on the outside. Then you still got to respect the legs of Espinoza.
Second down for Columbus.
See Gooden in this spot.
Fortson also, and instead Lee's going to get it. Lee's going to be stopped inside the 10, 3rd and short for the Lions.
See Big Ma Brown shaking up a little bit on that play.
Big Ma, another huge addition.
Yeah.
Literally and physically.
Literally.
And physically.
And it's shown this game, this offensive line's playing a heck of a game.
So it'll be 3rd down and 3 from the 8 is Espinoza and the Lions. They've only scored 3 touchdowns. They got a safety. All 3 have begun from the air. From Espinoza to Gooden. This time Espinoza uses legs to get a 1st down, and it's 1st and goal inside the 3.
Yeah, this is big. You get 4 shots at it right here. You think you could just run this ball. See Marco Lee right here. Got a fullback with Gooden. Uh-oh.
And Lee on the toss sweep gets stopped right about the 2. Almost bobbled the ball there. Could have been a fumble.
Yeah.
And Espinoza gets stopped again short of the goal line.
Yeah, that's 2 tries at it. Still got 2 more to go, but they may want to try something different here. As I would not. I'd be mind just get one of those big defensive linemen, line them up at fullback and run that thing.
3rd down and goal from the 1. You know, Fortson's a possession receiver too, Rick, so I wouldn't say a fade route, but quick pass to him with that big body of his to shield the defender. And Espinosa's going to keep it. Nope, pass it. And did he intercept it? No, it is incomplete, and Fortson and Espinoza are off.
He could have just ran that in for the end.
And you saw Fortson's reaction, but you're right. He was. You see on the replay, he could have got the corner and dove for the end zone.
Would have been a lot, at least closer, but
so 4th
we're
and
not
goal.
down there with a big defensive lineman chasing us down either.
Yeah, exactly.
Timeout, Shreveport.
And Shreveport wants a conversation. We'll see what Coach Antoine Young is going to dial up here after this break.
Hey, on the mountain we've got a saying. Get off your... Touchdown!
Woo.
Mountain!
Fans love getting free stuff. And shout out to the interns that are heaving those balls right now. It's 26-6, under 9 to go here in the third. 4th down and goal for the Lions. What are you dialing up if you're Antoine Young, the offensive coordinator here, Rick?
Something quick over the middle, like a slant. They tried that earlier down here in the short yardage. I think it was 4th down. Short yardage going the other way. Remember the Shreveport defender got his hand up. You got to try to defeat that. You get this quick yardage into the end zone.
They've already been stopped once on 4th and goal. Can it be again?
If the intern wants to impress me, they need to throw a ball up here where we are.
Nobody up here where we are has even sniffed a ball. I'll go down there and throw my arm out right now. All right, 4th down and goal for the Lions. The Rouxgaroux have done a good job the last couple of drives stopping the Lions with turnovers, turnover on downs. Can they get a stop here? The problem is they haven't been able to turn anything up offensively. Robinson and Samuels in motion. Gooden and Fortson on the outside. Espinoza's leg is also a factor. Gooden's got 3 touchdowns. Can he make it 4?
A little run and play with Samuel, with him in motion hanging to the left. Let's see if they want to run that here.
Espinoza is going to throw it to an offensive lineman, and it was sniffed out by Antoine immediately. That is not the play that I thought would have been dialed up there. And no offense to Justin Umis, but I don't know on 4th down, I'd be looking for him. Trying to catch Shreveport off guard. Good job by them to be able to sniff that out, specifically Antoine.
Yeah, Antoine, the same one that got his hand up on the 4th down earlier in the first half. Steps up, makes the interception here, and gets a little bit of momentum and a little bit of field position gain, about 2.5 yards. 3 yards right here, putting the ball in the nose of it, touching the 5.
So the Lions have gotten down to the goal line several times and have been stopped. And
see there, a 6-yard run. And just like that, Shreveport trying to keep that momentum and get Uncle Mo and ride him into the end zone.
Be a big turn of events. Could be going down potentially by 26. Instead, cutting the deficit to less than 20. That's where it stands right now for Hollins and Shreveport. Another low snap, handoff to Samuel. Samuel stutter stepping, picks his spot, and gets close to the 1st down marker.
Yeah, he may have it. Looks like he does. That's back-to-back runs for Samuel. And he's already got a 1st down, and here comes Shreveport.
Hollins, 1st down at the 15. Hollins takes off and runs and slides just short. Gets about close to 7, a generous 7. Needs to get to the 25 for a 1st down. They are at the 22.
Kind of reminiscent of that first drive, the touchdown drive for Shreveport. A lot of Samuel and Hollins running together, getting it downfield.
And off to Samuel. Samuels is thrown down by Ronald Malbrough. And Malbrough comes up big there to make up for 3rd down and about 6, close to 7. And firing caught, 1st down, and that's a good pass there from Hollins. And found Rashad Ridley for the Rouxgaroux 1st down.
Yeah, nice play call. Just run, stop, get the ball at the 1st down marker, and you're just going to fall for that 1st down.
So Columbus trying to stop Shreveport. Again, clock not on the Rouxgaroux side. It's 5:10 and counting here in the 3rd. Hollins takes this low snap, still finally picks it up on the run, wide open to Samuels, and there's an all-out brawl. Samuels still on his feet, and he'll get in for a touchdown, and we got fights happening on the field right now. Flags being
Coach
thrown.
in the middle.
Damian Daniel trying to stop. And Tevin Bush, who I thought was ejected, was not ejected.
Well, he should now.
And now he probably will be. And I'm wondering, what does this mean for the actual play? Because it happened during the play, it wasn't after.
It looked like the Shreveport offensive lineman got his helmet taken off during the play, and he did not respond well as he wanted to go straight into aggressively going after the Lions defender. See big number, can't see if that's 68 or 69.
That's 69.
Imagine so.
That's Charles Baker.
Yeah, he just started attacking the defender who, who's to say if he didn't mean to have hands to the face on that play. And once he saw the fight, then you see Bush just come running around, not even near the play, getting involved.
Coach Russ pleading for his team to go calm down a little bit. Same for the Lions. Scott was in there with Baker, and then it turned into 2-on-1 with the Shreveport 2 and the Lions, Desmond Scott 1. And all the while, Samuels is running free for a touchdown.
It looks like they're going to have ejections for sure. You see the refs writing down.
And you see here on the replay, Samuels gets in. And then we got an angle here, and you're seeing it was Scott and Baker's. Baker's helmet came off right before the play was unfolding with Samuels, and they were already throwing hands and taking each other's helmets off.
Uh-oh, they're marking it during the play.
So we got holding. It's going to negate the touchdown. So a Lions player has also been ejected. And Tevin Bush. So 2 players been ejected, 1 from each team. Desmond Scott, that was his second. So Desmond Scott has now been disqualified, Rick, and Tevin Bush of Shreveport.
That
I will
definitely hurts
say,
Columbus more.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say that. No, I'm glad you said it. I was just agreeing with you. But I also was thinking, too, seeing how this unfolded, I really was impressed by the referees, how they took care, got it, let it play out, told everyone to calm down, made the proper calls. Now let's play some football.
And Coach Daniels for getting in the middle of it. He don't have on the armor the players got on.
No.
And he jumped right in the middle of them big old, them wasn't two DB and a wide receiver going at it. That's a defensive lineman and offensive lineman going at it.
Yeah,
he jumped in the middle.
Yeah, two grown men that I would not want to be in the middle of.
But we mentioned Scott, he causes such an issue on those snaps.
Yeah.
As a center, worrying about him. And that's every play. Bush, we haven't really seen anything other than the personal fouls today, so that definitely hurts Columbus more. Losing an impact player. But look who's in that spot now. It's going to be Tyler Clark.
It's not a bad replacement either. Hollins, plenty of time, still rolling, still rolling. Yancey misses, and Hollins going to take off and run. Hollins still on his feet. Hollins to the 20. Hollins finally taken down there by Ben Smiley, but not before Shreveport first down. And you see the legs of Hollins there making something out of nothing.
Yeah, how about the block right there, number 56, Kyle Lester coming across the middle of the field. You'll see it open it up right there at the Houston Clinic logo.
Huge.
And really sprung that run right there. Shout out to Kyle Lester from Shreveport with that block.
First, make that second down because of the penalties being marked off. That was first and long. It's now second down and short after the long run. Handoff is to Adrian Jefferson, and he doesn't get anything on that one. That is, again, we've said his name multiple times, Ronald Marlborough. And it's third down. All right, third down and 5. Shreveport trying to convert in Lions territory. Watch the legs of Hollins. Instead, he's going to hand off, no, keep it, and somehow get out of the grasp of Marlborough, but then Statham completely knocks his helmet off, and now
that leg done flared up again on him. Looks like he's holding the same one from earlier.
We're going to have a Houston Clinic injury timeout. We'll take 1-2. 2:48 here in the third, 26-6 Lions. We're back here. 4th down for Shreveport this time. Laughing House, number 10, the receiver, has been an option on 4th down. Samuels in the slot with Laughing House towards the sideline. Darius Metters is in the backfield, and Antoine's going to get it on a direct handoff, and he will power through for a Rouxgaroux first down.
Yeah, sometimes just keep it simple is the best philosophy. New quarterback coming in, just run quarterback power right up the gut.
Up the gut, man. And again, Hollins is out with an injury right now. So backup quarterback Darius Antoine is in. He'll take another direct snap and run over Statham and will get close to the pylon.
Looks like they want to keep running the same thing again here.
They're saying, you got to stop us. This power run from the shotgun position.
Without Desmond Scott.
You're starting to see an issue. And you made mention that probably a bigger loss than Tevin Bush is for Shreveport.
No doubt.
And Antoine's going to go in untouched, and it just looked discombobulated there. And Lions are going to give up a touchdown with under 2 minutes here in the third. Shreveport's going to go for 2 to make this a 12-point game. They went NASCAR mode, didn't let the Lions set up, and Antoine ran in for 6.
You got to think, why not do it here if you're Shreveport?
Haven't stopped it yet.
If Columbus trying, you see big Richard Ronald, 44 linebacker in that gap, trying to shoot it.
And
that goes the other way.
And Antoine made it look easy there. And Shreveport's made this a ball game. We got a minute left in the third. It's 26-14 now on the NAL, Columbus Lions YouTube, and Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Let's go! Woo! Woo! Yeah! Football time! Set the tone. Kyle, tie your shoes, tie your shoes. Yeah, good job. Woo! Yeah!
Grab a Pepsi Wild Cherry and get wild.
At United Way,
Welcome back, everyone. 1 minute left here in the third. Shreveport's been the only team that scored. Both teams have had the football. The Lions were stopped on 4th and goal. That would have made it a at least a 26-point game. Shreveport responded by going down the field and scoring a touchdown, but they lost their starting quarterback. Didn't matter. Darius Antoine comes in and runs in for 6. And they get the 2-point conversion. Here's Smiley with his bright green shoes. Can he make something happen? He's at the 20, and a helmet is gone. And you talk about some hard-hitting.
Samuel, I believe, got somebody.
Yeah, Adrian Jefferson had his helmet taken off there. Thrift Behringer, Rick Beach here on the NAL YouTube channel. And a false start's going to be called on the Lions. And it's actually going to be offsides on Shreveport, excuse me. It'll be first down and 5 with 35 seconds left here in the third.
You almost feel for Columbus, you got to show some signs of life on this offense and punch it in. You come close. And you want to stop that whole momentum train that Shreveport seemed to be riding after their touchdown and 2-point conversion.
Espinoza fires deep, open, caught! That's number 4 for Tremel Gooden. Streaking down the sideline, and Espinoza throws a dime. And that's what the Lions needed.
Absolutely. What an answer by this Columbus Lions offense. Kind of been stagnant the last few possessions, but they got, kind of had their number called right there with the touchdown by Shreveport. They answered right back. Stretch this lead back up, hopefully.
This time busted coverage for Shreveport. We've seen Laughing House, now Gooden, and that's 4. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 for Tremel Gooden. And Ja Ofoa will try to make it back to a 20-point game. As we'll start the fourth quarter after this extra point attempt. Excuse me, 2-point conversion.
Drop kick Willie right here.
And he's going to take off and run.
Not a good idea.
And probably regretted that. But the Lions still lead 32-14. We'll take a break. Under 15 here left. It's Lions by 18.
To make it a reality. So let's continue to write the story of our region, a story of hope and resilience, a place for fresh starts and new growth, a place for all to call home, a place united for hope.
Hey, on the mountain we've got a saying. Get off your... Touchdown! Woo! Mountain Dew!
To 14 is your score. And Lions are going to kick it off. So the fourth quarter has not started yet, but it's
close.
15 minutes. Lions are away from getting a much-needed victory and moving into sole possession of second place in the American Division.
And just getting back on the winning track, getting mind focus on the playoffs.
By the way, Beaumont now leads the Wheeling Miners 28-26 with 7:28 remaining in that one. Beaumont trying to stay undefeated as the only team with an unblemished record. Wheeling is trying to go to 3-4 and keep up with Columbus and Shreveport. And that's going to actually hit the Jumbotron. It's been an ongoing battle between
the operator and the scoreboard. See if they get it this time.
Just trying to get it right. It's 32-14 with 15 to go in the fourth.
Scoreboard operator having a rough night at the office.
Antoine forgot he's playing quarterback. And Draco Statham saying, no, don't go back.
Nice. Looks like Holland's still in there.
Oh, Hollins is still in there, but Antoine did come back in.
Why switch it up? If you're Columbus, you're thankful for that.
But now he looks like he's going to be the running back here.
See if Ron will come clog that hole up.
And they're going to hand it off. Nope, Holland's going to keep it. And he is going to be slam down. Mikel Yancey, 52. Coming in like a prime Ray Lewis.
Slamming them to the ground. It just makes you scratch your head. You see Shreveport have such a high success rate on a certain play, then they abandon that play so quickly.
Loss of 4 on the play. Hollins will hand it off this time to Antoine. And Antoine, hard-nosed 4 yards.
It's just such a different play when you got a running back coming in there versus the quarterback power. Quarterback power, you have your running back kind of being your lead blocker to get in usually the A gap here and, have success running it. And now you can see not having that lead blocker on these plays. Columbus able to clog the hole up with 44. Then the ends can make the run on the quarterback if he pulls it back on the zone read.
3rd down and 10 for Hollins and the Rouxgaroux. Looking is Hollins, and he will be taken down. Say his name once, say his name twice, say it again. It's Mikel Yancey this time for another sack, 4th and long.
Yeah, and Rashad Ridley was open at the top of the screen. But the pressure preventing the quarterback from seeing him running down the sideline at the top. Now it's 4th down and long.
4th down. Can we get a Tyler Clark sighting? Gibson Zia.
Just don't give the quarterback time. You just saw that last play. Now they got.
Don't over pursue either. Hollins is going to get it out quickly to Laughinghouse. He's going to try to make a play and not able to. And that's good defense. Ben Smiley there along with Marte Sears. And that will be a turnover on downs. And Lions will take over inside Shreveport territory.
Yeah, really make you wonder on that play call, not having it go, but I don't think the quarterback felt confident he had time to wait on the receiver to get to the 1st down stick. I ain't Jack Johnson. Here we go.
32-14.
Let's see if Columbus stays aggressive here. We saw them kind of get conservative there in the 2nd quarter and for most of the 3rd quarter up until Shreveport scored. Then they really went back to opening it up to get that touchdown last drive. Let's see if they keep it aggressive right here.
And that's going to be a handoff to
Juice.
Juice Robinson.
I ain't seen him much tonight, so it's good to see him right here in the fourth quarter. Fresh legs coming into the game.
Second down at the 19 for Espinoza and the Lions. Espinoza gets it out. There is Robinson. Robinson makes a man miss. Robinson gets the first down, and it will be first and goal for the Lions right at the 10.
Yeah, you got to think this is your chance to put that nail in that coffin if you can score here. Also, you can take your time. Ain't no need to be in such a big rush. Run that clock under 10 minutes. See Marco Lee in the game. Let him get a carry.
You're watching on the National Arena League channel, Columbus Lions and Georgia Alabama Sports Live. (32-14) Lions have it at the 10, and 9:45 and counting. Espinoza takes a snap, and he's going to take off a run. No, he's going to do a shovel pass, and Lee was not ready for it. If he was, he may have scored a touchdown.
Again, nothing wrong with Espinoza. Just keeps that, even if he just slides around the 6-7 yard line. Trying too hard to make something happen.
If your Lions here too, you don't mind taking off as much clock as possible as you try to extend this 18-point lead to at least 24, depending on the two-point conversion, maybe 26. Espinoza waves both in motion. He's going to take off and run. Espinoza runs into his own offensive lineman, Bracken Smith.
I was just about to say before he ran into his own man, if he just followed Marco Lee. That quarterback power, we talked about it with Shreveport, was doing it so good with that Lee blocker. As Lee hit the hole. But we almost had a Mark Sanchez butt fumble potentially right here. He ran into his own man.
The butt fumble. The infamous
butt fumble.
Third down. Espinoza fires, and it's caught. He wasn't touched. No, they're going to say Samuels was down. And it will be fourth down inside the 5.
And they'll run this clock under 8 minutes.
They're going to take off as much time as possible. And I wonder if they're just going to call a timeout here, too. Wait, Coach Young has his arms crossed, and Espinoza standing by him. And they'll take it down under 7:40. And they'll think this over. We'll take a quick break. Lions up by 18. 32-14, 4th down and goal here for the Lions. They've been stopped before in this same position.
Said Espinoza, I'd like to see him use his legs to get this into the end zone.
Yeah.
And quick passes hadn't worked with this.
Espinoza wide open is Gooden, and he finds him in the back of the end zone for another Lions touchdown. Make that 5 for Tramel Gooden here. All from, of course, Espinoza, his 5th. What a showing from these two. They have been on the same accord the entire game, and it's 38-14. Ofoa will try to make it 40 if he can kick it through. Ofoa. Yes. Put 40 on the board, and Lions lead by 26. That might have been the nail in the coffin, Rick.
Yeah, I think so right here. You're under 7 minutes, got 6.5 minutes to go in the game. We've seen crazy things happen in arena football, but that'd be some absolute chaos. It would take a whole lot of voodoo to make that happen here tonight.
.6:26 left in the 4th. Lions have scored a touchdown at the end of the 3rd and a touchdown right there to go up by 26, their biggest of the game. Statement is being made tonight by these Lions. And if you're a Lions fan, you're hoping this continues throughout the rest of the season. For the Lions, they got coming up next week on the road at the undefeated #1 team, Beaumont. So this was a good win to pick up. That kick goes out of bounds. And for Shreveport, they actually have a bye because their game against Carolina is now no longer happening as Carolina is not a team in the league anymore. So Shreveport will be on a bye next week. Columbus has to go against the #1 team in the entire NAL, undefeated Beaumont. And I will check that score. I've been trying to give you updates throughout the game. And Beaumont was up 28-26 with 7 minutes to go, has now gone up 41-26, and an extra point away from making it 42 with 44 seconds left in that one. So Beaumont will now go to an outstanding record of 6-0, and the Lions will go to 3-3.
Remember that Columbus-Beaumont game we had here came down to the wire.
Yeah.
44-37 loss for Columbus. So don't let the record for you that Columbus can't hang with them here on the road.
And Antoine, nope. Yeah, he is going to keep it. And Antoine, this play has worked very well. A direct snap to Antoine, and he gets a huge gain there.
Yeah, we've seen it. That was more some zone read going right there. As he held it as long as he could, then pulled it back.
Beaumont plays Columbus. And then a team outside of the NAL, the Alabama Empire. And they end it with Shreveport. So with them going now to 6-0, I think Beaumont's pretty much secured first place. But the Lions need to keep winning so they can get second and make the playoffs.
They got the bus in there at running back.
But the Lions looking like they won't be able to host any playoff games this year. It's 40-14. Under 4 remaining. And there's Antoine, who gets upended by Marte Sears. Antoine takes off and is tackled by Gibson Zia.
So they got the Ric Flair woos going now.
Fourth down. Antoine's going to throw. Denarius is going to take off and run instead, and still on his feet. And I think he got the first down.
It's going to be, looks like they gave it to him. Columbus had him by the shirt. Yancey was holding on to him, trying to pull him back.
First and goal for Antoine and the Rouxgaroux. And Samuels has got it. Samuels is going to lose yardage there. We're about to get to the 1 minute warning.
Yeah, you saw him. Columbus getting to the people behind the line of scrimmage, having a tough time bringing them down right off the bat.
And a 1 minute timeout, 1 minute warning. Lions are going to win this one. They're up 40-14.
Let's go! Woo! Woo! Yeah! Woo! Football time! Set the tone. Kyle, tie your shoes, tie your shoes. Yeah, good job. Woo! Yeah!
Grab a Pepsi Wild Cherry and get wild.
The Rouxgaroux and Lions came into this tied for second. When they both leave the Civic Center, Lions are in sole first place. They have dominated this from start to finish. The defense has been excellent. Tremel Gooden has been sensational. Espinoza's made plays. And this Lions looks like a completely different team. Antoine, with a minute left, will score again untouched. And Shreveport will try to make it competitive as they'll get their 20th point of the game. We'll have the Lions Coaches Show coming up on Wednesday. It's going to be feeling good coming in off a win.
Damon and Nate have a lot to talk about.
Yeah. And next week, Lions will be on the road at #1 Beaumont. Undefeated Beaumont will be a test. But if they play like they did here today, they have a chance to win that one, as that shovel pass will be picked. And Ben Smiley says, thank you very much. I'll take that. (40-20) is your score. And 45 seconds left in this one. So Lions will receive the kickoff here. 55 seconds left. Clock operator is ready to go home. So I think a lot of fans are.
I think the clock operator has been ready since the first quarter.
Math don't math sometimes, man. Math ain't mathin'.
Math ain't math at all. Let's see who gets that one. Looks like the Cowboy.
And they're going to battle over it right now. And the little kid's going to come away with it.
That's how it should go.
Nope, never mind.
Nope, the Cowboy got it.
Cowboy says, that's mine.
It was two adults fighting for it. Wasn't a kid involved. I still like the two old-timers just sat there with their arms crossed watching the two younger guys fighting for the ball.
Y'all going to have it.
Y'all going to have it. We're not getting down here.
Great crowd here tonight as well, Rick. Over 2,000 in attendance. Hand off to Lee. And Lee will be taken down. Clock will run. And you would think maybe one more play. Maybe not, depending on when they set this. And it looks like they will not have to run another play if they don't want to. Game clock is 5 seconds ahead of the play clock. They're huddling it up. Espinoza, is he going to go for another touchdown? He is! To Juice Robinson, no! He dropped it. And the clock's going to stop with 1.7. Espinoza was trying to get touchdown pass number 6.
Well, since he dropped it, I really wish they ran that ball because we'd be wrapping this puppy up.
40-20. Espinoza, hand off to Lee, and that will do it. The Lions are going to come away victorious. Espinoza with 5 touchdown passes, all of them to Tremel Gooden. The defense was lights out. And Columbus, after a 2-week break and a 3-game losing streak, comes up with a mega win in a battle for who will be in second, trying to get that coveted playoff spot behind Beaumont. And the Lions are now in sole first place. Thoughts, Rick Beach?
Yeah, just what they needed this week. We talked about it coming out fast, getting started early. Just what Columbus did. Defense locked in that second and third quarter, pretty much from that first quarter till the injury in the fourth quarter to the quarterback, where Shreveport was able to mix it up a little bit with the quarterback power, but by then you done stretched the lead out by so much. There wasn't no coming back. Good win for the Lions.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to wrap it up here on the post-game show. Welcome back to the Columbus Lions post-game show. Lions win 40-20. Thrift Behringer, Rick Beach. What a performance there by the Lions. The defense made a lot of stops. They had a running game, but how about Espinoza stepping up huge? And now he has 8 touchdown passes in his last 2 games, 5 here today, and a big win for the Lions.
Yeah, all 5 to the same target. Looks like we found a new combo here in Columbus, but Espinoza and Gooden. But that's just team win. That defense looked phenomenal, especially in the middle part of the game.